All right, so I'm working on the bus today, and I wasn't even filming, I'll be honest with you. I was just trying to change the oil and get all the filters and the air filters and stuff for this thing. And then I noticed that the exhaust was loose. And let me get a flashlight here. And I found this. So then I started taking the covers off and all that, getting in here, and it's not even hooked up. It's just sitting in here. So I assume this is the muffler. I don't know what's going on. So I'm going to cut these things, the heat shields off here. I'm going to pull this back. I'm going to, I'm probably going to have to get this whole system, this whole exhaust system. And I don't even know if you can anymore. Maybe I can find another muffler or something, but at least, yeah, it looks like, I mean, that almost looks like JB Weld. I'll be honest with you. I think he knew it was broken and he JB welded it back on there. Anyway, I'll pull it out, see what's going on here. We may have to make something, to get a muffler to fit in here. I'm not exactly sure. I don't even know what, Cat doesn't have this on their thing, so it's hard to find support for it. They don't have it listed on their site, so I don't know. Anyway, we'll just keep digging and playing with this thing. Take this exhaust off. All this needs to be strapped back up. This is just torn apart. I mean, there's just pieces of this thing everywhere. I don't know what's supposed to be going on here with this. We're gonna have to figure that out, but it definitely wasn't protecting the motor. And I'm surprised none of these wires are burnt because it's a mess. Anyway, so let me cut this off and dig into a little more, and then I'll update you on what's going on. All right, well, with a board and a hammer and yeah, a sledge. I got the flange bolts out, so I'm gonna pull this out of here and see what we got finally. What a mess this is. I mean, everything's, now one thing else I noticed in here, I jerked on this thing. The radiator's not even bolted in, it's just sitting in there. What a joke. All right, so this evidently was welded to a plate at one time. Wow, this exhaust is like 10,000 pounds. Yeah. All right, just let me get it out of the way for now. Yeah, so I may end up welding that back down. But you can see, it's broken off right there. I don't know, it looks like he clamped it, and I mean, that's JB Weld for sure. So I'll pull that whole exhaust off, and we'll have to figure that out. And then I just got stuffed everywhere. This paper from when it was supposed to be. And then look at this floor, just rusted. Wow. I mean, just rust, honestly. So I'll get a vacuum in here and get this cleaned up the best we can. And we'll go from there. But boy, we have, no wonder I smelled exhaust, So we got lots of work to do. Hopefully I can buy one of those mufflers, I don't even know. But all this needs to be fixed anyway. It's just dangling in here, getting rubbed on the belt. It's just a matter of time before it gets caught in the engine and pulls out. And then we'll have to figure out another way to wrap this exhaust and get it all done up. But there you go. What a mess. And of course, when I put it back together, I want to bolt the radiator in. Goodness gracious. I mean, they left the two top bolts out and radiator is just dangling. So it's in there just vibrating. Just what a mess, huh? What a mess. You never know what you're going to get into with one of these buses. I need to get a trash can over here, get this stuff out, see what's fixable and what's not. It's always something. And I still don't even know what kind of engine this is. Somebody was saying it was Kubota. I'm not 100% sure. It says Caterpillar on top. I don't think it's Caterpillar. The forums make it seem like it's not Caterpillar. That's why I say that. So I don't know. Hopefully I can figure something out. I was hoping to find a data plate on this side of the motor, but there's not, and there's not one on the other side. I was worried about the quartz, but somebody wrote the quartz on the side. Here it says DQ30 on the side of the engine. Maybe that'll help me figure out what this is. Yeah, DQ30 right there. This is the only generator on the Cat website that doesn't have the stuff for it. Doesn't even show up on there. This model doesn't even show up on there. So anyway, looks like I got some work to do. Anyway, see if I can't get this exhaust off here. How ridiculous. And we'll go from there. Hopefully I can get that exhaust. And I don't even know what it's supposed to be welded to because there's nothing left for it to be welded to. So I may have to pull this whole thing out though. That's what it's looking like right now to me. Whatever. I mean, this plate looks, the plate that well, and I say it looks good. It's not good. So where the body mounts are even in is not good. So that's not, we're gonna have to do something. We're gonna have to do something. All right. Yep, this is going to need a lot of work, but no sense complaining about it. Let me get it cleaned up. All right, so this is turning into one heck of an oil change. I've got the exhaust out of here. I've cleaned it up. Look at this. This is the plate the motor is hooked to. That's what's holding the motor in. I mean, that's ridiculous. That plate is pretty good thick and pretty good thickness, and it should have gone all the way to the other side, I believe. So I'll have to replace that. So basically, I'm going to have to pull this whole front clip. I mean, there's so much stuff that needs to be done anyway, just like this radiator is just flopping here. That drives me insane. I don't know why anybody would do that. But this thing needs some work. I mean, I really need to work on all this stuff too, right? I don't want to just piece it together. I can, but I don't want to. I like to wrap it nice and good and have it back to at least a decent, close to original type setup. All right, so that was kind of a pain, but we got the exhaust out of there. What a mess. What a mess. So we got work to do. It looks like the bus part is fine. I'd like to paint it, you know, whatever, but it's the stuff above it, the generator floor that's rotted out. That's part of the generator floor. So the bus chassis itself is fine. The bucket that holds it, there's a big piece of steel. But the bottom of the cat generator is toast, I think. So fun, yeah. So, I'm not sure how far I'm going to go today. I wasn't even planning on doing this. I do need to look up the exhaust and see if I can get it and all that stuff so I can figure all that out. I'll have to take this apart just to see what's good and bad because it's in sections, right? So this is probably a section to there. I'm not really sure. And then that other one, I think there's a, well, I don't know. I don't really know here. I think that's a section. And then this is a section, right? And so obviously this piece has got to be replaced. This piece is fine. And then that one piece may be fine. I'm not sure, but I definitely got to get this pulled out of here and yeah, clean it all up, weld some new plates for the motor to sit in because it's not even, it's just sitting. I mean, probably the generator is probably what, yeah, look at that. And the generator is probably what's holding it really. I don't want to shake that too bad because it's shaking the whole bus, but definitely needs to be stiffened up. It's the only reason the engine's still in there is because that steel, that rotted steel is on top of the bus plate, the bus chassis for the generator. Otherwise it would have already fallen through. All right, I started taking this apart and that's the hook, electrical hook that's hooking it all together here. I don't understand what's going on there. Oh, what a mess. That looks like pipe, honestly. I don't know what's here. Somebody made a flange. I don't know what's going on here. I mean, this is steel pipe. And I know what, I don't know. This is an electrical clamp, which is not very old. So there's a lot going on here. He made a steel pipe flange. I mean, honestly, that's what that is. Oh my goodness. And then he JB welded it to the exhaust. Just what I don't understand. All right, well, let me see if I can't knock it off. Actually, I'll just soak it and then we'll try knocking it off. I'm gonna scrape this part, just see what's underneath here. This is wild. I mean, just wild. All right, so I've been trying to crack this exhaust apart and I absolutely can't get it. I think they welded it or something, because it won't come off. I mean, I have jumped on it with pipe wrenches and all that, and it just won't come out. So I think I may try to twist this off. Actually, you know what? I could probably cut. I don't want to be careful getting the threads in there. I could probably try to cut this off, and then maybe it'll be used to reuse that. Yeah, so this one's been welded as well. So there's no way that I'm getting those off. So I'll just reorder this whole thing. Daggone it. All right, so I was just kind of beating this off to see what was under here, how they did it. It looks like the muffler just goes into a piece of pipe that they cut in half and just slid the end in there is what it looks like to me. And then of course this side is just threaded pipe that goes inside there. Crazy. But look at this. I wouldn't have believed this. So that big huge fitting is rusted through in the corner there. Is that crazy? Morning. Hey, I have been, it's been a couple days since I've even talked to you on the camera. I've cleaned up a little more, just sitting down here playing around, cleaning up. I think I've determined that I'm gonna have to build a cart, take this whole thing off, and then basically pull the motor off this bottom pan, and then have, because it's almost half missing, and then have this pan remade, and then go from there and put it all back together. That's what I'm thinking right now. The engine's not sitting in there correctly for the fan shroud. Everything's loose. Half the bolts are missing out of the thing, and the bottom is roached. So I'm gonna take that pan out, take the pan off the bottom, and then have my buddy hopefully make me one at the metal shop. And then, yeah, so that's kind of what's going on there. And then when I got this apart, it's just all roached. It's crazy. So I've been ordering parts, and they've been slowly coming in to rebuild this thing. Yeah, let's go here. So you can see these are the parts that I've gotten in so far. I cut this off the old deal. They'll have to have my buddy weld on something to go on the end of this. Probably an elbow, probably a 90-degree or something. I'm not sure. Or a half thing. I think he'll cut a threaded piece in half or something, and then that'll screw to the elbow. The elbow will go down. This will hook into the elbow. I think that's how it's going to go. I think that's how it was. So anyway, slowly but surely I'm getting pieces in. I do have the 245s in off that, but the 90s have not come in, and nor has the straight pipes. So all right, so I needed 14 inches. So this is kind of what I've come up with. This is the bottom part, which is longer. It's going to stick outside that front so it doesn't flip forward. I'll probably end up putting some kind of board or something on the front of that back to it so that it can't fall forward, you know. So anyway, I got this cart built. Then I got the two huge 3-inch logs basically that I'll put on top of those long boards, and then I'll tie those 4-footers. You know, it's just scrap wood, but whatever, but I'll screw those 4-footers to the top of that. That should be 14 inches. The end of the thing is 13.5. It's kind of leaning down as it comes out of the bus, so I'll back it back in, and then we'll kind of let it fall down as we take it out. So I think this is gonna work. I guess we'll figure it out. We'll find out for sure once we get there. But let me get this all screwed together. Sorry I didn't film me cutting. I mean, most of the stuff was already cut, to be honest with you. They're 3.5 inches wide because I found two 3.5-inch boards, so I just cut one. And then the other boards were already done, so it's just a matter of cutting the tip off this one, and that was the excess from these two. So, you know, I just kind of used it for what it was. Did a couple cuts. So, all right, so let me get this wood screwed together. We'll get the wheels lagged to the bottom. Then we'll get the tops put on, and then we'll see if it works. Pretty simple. I mean, it's stuff I have laying around. I don't want to use up wood or cut up wood that I don't have to. So I'm cutting up one board, but it was the one 16-footer that was twisted. So it'll work out good. All right, so let me get busy and put this together. pin out. I'm gonna have to get this out of my way so I get my arm in there. Try to go up from underneath her so you can see. I'm gonna go underneath so I don't get my arm caught in there. If something were to fall, which it should not, but you never know. I don't know if I'm gonna get a hold of that and pull it. Yeah, okay. All right, so now I gotta retract the hydraulics without knocking everything over. This is gonna be in the way for sure. So is this. I've made myself a conundrum here, haven't I? All right. Say most people don't do this. One drop. Okay. That's fully recessed, supposedly. Okay. I'm gonna have to have something to hold that when I take this out, though, aren't I? And that is way forward to where I thought it would be. So we're gonna have to go something sideways on there. Then I won't be able to reach my bolts, though. So we'll have to go somewhere right here, which is where the weight is, really. It's just the radiator past there. Alright. And that's kind of got that. Get this up in here. Thinking of our bolts, that's actually touching. So I think if I let that down, it's going to be just fine. Alright, sorry. When I get into something, I don't even know what I've recorded. So I don't know what I recorded, but I jacked it up with the jack and a little piece of block. Just lifted it up a little bit, got the 2 shims under each one, so it's all level, and then let it back down. It did let it back down just a little bit tighter than I thought it would. So it's it could probably be lifted a little more. But the back is in there perfect, so I think it's gonna be fine. You know, I can adjust the hydraulics and the bus when I go to put it back in. I didn't even think about using the hydraulics this time. This is the normal ride height, so it's fine. So now it's just a matter of pulling the bolts out and then disconnecting the whole thing, you know, disconnecting the batteries, electric, all that stuff. So the electric's probably pretty dangerous. I have to be careful when I do that, but everything else should be easy. Just labeling, I'll have to label all these fronts off, pop all these off so that I can unhook them all. I mean, it's got things all the way down here on the end to unhook. So I'll have to unhook all that, pull all this wiring harness back. This wiring harness for that unhooks there. So I just need to unhook this. I'll unhook the electrical in here. I think there's a ground on the back of this. I don't know what makes me think that, but it seems like there's a hard ground on the back of this, so I'll have to unhook that. The good thing on these is everything's labeled except for what I did. The fog lights are not labeled, but I'll know when they go. It kind of falls out in order after I got looking at it. Makes it simple. I got the wiring harness off the front, off both sides. It wasn't terrible. Everything kind of falls in line, so I don't think it'll be terrible to put back on either. I have to do a little more thinking than I did taking it off. Sorry for the yawns. Golly, what is going on with me? Alright, so I've been fiddling around here. I got these all disconnected. Shut the power off the bus, of course. Got these disconnected. I taped them up though. I don't normally do that, but I'm going to want to charge the batteries for the next month while I have this out. So I'm going to pull them through here and I'm going to tape them up again real good so they're not touching each other. But yeah, I'm going to need to plug this back in. The batteries are going to need to be charged. Yeah, because it'll probably take me a month or so to do all this. So anyway, I just need to pull this out and yeah, we're in good shape. I'll slide this nut back over so I don't lose it. But that's probably, I think there's a grounding stud on the back of this. I'm going to have to crawl in there and look, but I think I got to get that off. A big, huge round on the back. And then I need to pull these bolts. And then I think I can just roll it out, is what I'm thinking. I don't know. I hope. We'll see. For those of you wondering, I did test it with a meter before I pulled it just to make sure I wasn't going to get shocked. And I'm going to slide this back over these just so I have it and don't lose it. All right. So that's the big line, and it's disconnected. We're really doing good, actually. Yeah, this is gonna have to come out, I think. Oh yeah, we got lots of stuff. Oh crap. What are those, oil lines? Fuel lines. I didn't think about the fuel line. Do I have a shut off or anything? Son of a gun. See? Didn't think of that. Didn't think of that. Alright. So I've got to figure that out. How to shut the fuel line off. It'll work. I didn't have to figure something out to well, that's interesting too, because that's on the base of that, which is what's rusting out. Well, look at the rust on that. Man, that radiator is terrible too. Holy cow. I'd have to get a new radiator for that thing. It's missing half the fins. And that unhooks us. I'll have to cut all these. It's just a mess. But look at this radiator. I mean, half of the radiator things are missing out of the radiator. It is absolutely terrible. So we're going to have to look at that, getting a new radiator in here. Golly. I've never seen anything like that before. So that radiator is definitely shot. No pun intended. Unless that's just like a pre-screen to the radiator. But even then, golly, it is beat up. All right, I thought I was talking to you, and I wasn't talking to you because you weren't on. But I got the clamp off there. I don't know that my bolts are big enough here, to be honest with you. I'm going to make a mess no matter what, though, I think. All right, so I got it loose. But is it going to pour out, or does it suck it in, or how does this work? I don't even know. Got a leak in fuel, though. I know that already. Come on, buddy. I know you got those sparks, the things in you. Yep, oh, yep. Yep, get in there. Okay, come on. Now clamp it down. Ah, jeez. Stop. Diesel everywhere. Come on, clamp. Down my arm, everywhere, all over the road all over the road floor. Great. It'll smell like diesel the rest of the day. Come on, there it goes. Go, little bolt, get on there. Oh, where's my chute? Where'd the clamp go? Shoot. Where'd the clamp go? Clamp, where are you? Oh man, did it fall off? I did not see it fall. I did not hear it fall. But it is not here. Where did you go? Clamp. There you are. That's crazy. Okay, sure, where you at? I'm making a mess. Come on. Clamp it off. Clamp that off. Poor clamp. Poor clamp. I have diesel all over me. All right, I got all that zip tied up there so it's above the gas tank so it shouldn't leak out anymore. And we're totally disconnected as far as I know. Other than taking the bolts out the front, we can just roll her out and go from there. It's going to be interesting, isn't it? For sure. All right, well, let me clean up, get all this stuff out of here, get all the diesel off me, and then we'll crank those bolts out and see if we can't roll it out here. Freedom! Freedom! Woo! All right, let me get cleaned up. Ugh, diesel everywhere. All right, so that was quite the chore. I had to get the bolt off the other nut off the other side and then lock it with this one and then lock them together and then pull them through this. And this was so rusted, but penetrated on it a little bit of time, kept working it, and I got them both sides are up now. So we can get past this lock, which is what locks it in. So now it's free, honestly. It's just a matter of pulling it forward, which is scary. But yeah, I've just got to pull it forward and then it should come right out. They're locked. Yeah, the wheel's locked. Ah! Two of them were locked. Remember I locked them to push that stuff under? How stupid. I've probably been fighting that the whole time. Yeah, I have been fighting that the whole time. Oh my gosh. Ah! Oh. What a clown. Why'd you guys let me do that? I was not expecting to get all that done today. So there you go. It'll be good access to clean all this up and brush it all down and get it all painted up too while I'm in here. Again, this is not anywhere near as rusty as the base pan of that thing. It must have something to do with the electricity, but anyway, we'll tackle this, of course, as we go along and whatever. But right now I'm gonna get my tools put up and kind of just clean up, really, to be honest with you. And we'll go from there. I'll probably pull this out at some point and pressure wash everything I can get to. Anyway, in the meantime, that's what the front of the bus looks like with no front. That allows me to wax all that up too while I've got it out. What a wild looking thing, huh? So there's my cart, and it worked out well. We got it off there. We learned a lot for sure. We definitely have a lot of work to do getting this thing cleaned up. Looks like this radiator's shot. I mean, it's just hanging in here anyway. We're going to clear everything off this pan, and then have a new pan made and then put it all back together is the plan. So I think there's only 4 bolts that are hold the generator to the floor of this thing, and then we can lift this thing out. I'm not really sure how I want to do it yet. I don't know if I want to like take this apart and pull the motor and the generator all out at one time, or try to unbolt everything and lift this whole thing out at one time, have a new pan made and have it all set back in. Obviously I'm going to replace this radiator. It's ridiculous. But yeah, I don't know. We'll have to figure all that out as we go. That's a huge monumental day in my book. All right, well, let me clean up, and yeah, that'll probably be it for the day. We'll see. There's the front of the bus.
Wow.
Look at this.
Yikes. Holy moly.
Yeah. Look how bad this is, though. Look at this radiator. Can you see in there?
Wow.
Yeah, that's trash. All right, well, that's going to be it for me this week. As always, I appreciate you guys for watching. I know that you can spend your time doing anything else, and you choose to spend it watching me do crazy, stupid things. So I appreciate you. All right, you guys have a great week, and I'll see you next week. Oh, the things I get myself into.